up, you guys? It's Charmaine and I'm back with another video. First off, I want to say that whole videos every other day thing, yeah, that ain't gonna work. But for right now, I'm gonna just post videos whenever I can, and you know, see me when you sleep me. Okay. But today's video is gonna be embarrassing moments I had at school, and I had a bunch of them. I had so many of them, but I can't really remember all of them. So I picked 5 that I could remember. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is the day that my teacher was asking me to throw my sucker away, and you know, I'm not sure if it was the girl teacher or the boy teacher at the time, because we had so many Spanish teachers. This was Spanish class. We had so many Spanish teachers that, like, I don't remember what story is gonna be about what if it has to do with science class. We could never keep a science teacher ever. Ever. But this story was in science class, and either the girl teacher or the boy teacher asked me to throw my sucker away. This was my first high school, and they asked me about 3 times, and then the 3rd time they were like really serious, so I just was like, okay, I'm gonna throw this sucker away. So I walked to the front of the classroom, y'all. The front of the classroom, in front of everybody. And I went to go throw the sucker away in front of the desk, because it was a garbage can in front of the desk, and I farted. I farted in front of the whole class, y'all. And it was just so embarrassing. Because, like, okay, it was funny, but it was embarrassing. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was just embarrassingly funny, I guess. The next one is a time where I noticed myself snoring in class. Now, I'm pretty sure I've snored in class a lot, because I'll be real tired, and my sister usually tells me when I'm snoring, so, you know, like, tap me on the shoulder and tell me that I'm snoring. But most of the other times I don't really know I'm snoring. So this particular time, I think I was in my English teacher's class, and I was just snoring, and it's like I heard myself, but I didn't hear myself. Like, if y'all know what I mean, like, it's like I heard it, but I didn't. So I heard it, and then, like, I eventually woke up and stopped. And y'all, why when I looked up, it seemed like everybody had their eyes on me. Everybody was looking at me, and I just was like y'all, that was so embarrassing. I don't know why I snore in class. Like, usually I know when I'm sleeping in class, and so I try to, like, stop it, but sometimes it just, I don't know, it just happens. Okay, the next time is when I messed up a whole cheer, and I was in the front line. Now, if you're a cheerleader, you know what I'm talking about. Messing up the cheer is so embarrassing, because everybody is, like, so aligned with each other. Like, they're just perfect. And then you just that random one just going everywhere. And I was in the front line. I think that was one of the first times I was in the front line. And I'm sure my coach was like, no, we're not putting her in the front anymore. And I was so upset, because I've always wanted to be in the front. And when I was finally in the front, I was messing up so bad. I messed up so many times. And I think the only reason I messed up was because I was in the front. I think I was nervous about being in the front. Usually when I'm in the back, I don't really mess up that much, but I eventually got used to it, you know, used to cheering in the front whenever he wanted me to cheer in the front. So I would just be like at the end, though. I wouldn't be like in the front in the middle. I'd be like in the front at the end. But most of the other times I was in the back, so I really didn't, you know, mess up anymore. Cheer days. I miss being a cheerleader. The next one is when, okay, first I'm gonna say, when I was in high school, I did not have much hair. Like, my hair is like right here. I'm gonna insert a picture over here somewhere. My hair was just not cute. And you know, it was really short. And I usually had my hair in a certain way just because I didn't really like it. So I would always have this like big gold scrunchie. I can't talk. This big gold scrunchie, and I put it in my hair, and it looked like it was like a bun. Like I can't explain it, but it was a bun to me. And I'm in the lunch line with my sister, and like somebody from behind me had pulled it off. And you know, mind you, I didn't like my hair. So that the fact that somebody pulled it off, and then it was just on the floor, my little hair is sticking out in the back of my head. Like it was so embarrassing. It was just, it was so embarrassing. And it was between two people, but I thought it was like one person I thought it was, and it was this guy that was behind me that I thought it was. And I picked up my scrunchie thing, and I just like kind of put my hair down a little bit. I didn't put it back in because I didn't want nobody to like snatch it off again for no reason. And then I went to my lunch table, you know, and just sat down, and I was just thinking about it the whole time. It was so embarrassing. But actually, I'm gonna tell y'all the whole story. So actually, I had told no, actually, I didn't tell anybody. The only person who knew, I think, was my sister at the time. But I didn't tell anybody. And I was thinking about it the whole time. We was at lunch, and lunch had ended. And we were walking into the hallway, and I remember my ex-friend, had asked me what was wrong. And as soon as she asked me what's wrong, I, like, stopped in the hallway, put my hands to my face, and I started crying. And I didn't mean to cry. It's like, I don't know. It wasn't that serious, but it kind of just got to me because I didn't like my hair at the moment. I didn't like my hair. So it really got to me. And then my boyfriend, you know, Jonte, he realized that I was crying. He asked me what was wrong. And I told them that somebody in the lunch line had pulled the little thing off my head, and it just kind of embarrassed me. And Jonte and my cousin who was there and Jonte's friend, y'all, I didn't know that they was gonna do this, but they asked me who did it, and I showed them who did it, and y'all, they went up to that boy. They went up to that boy and was like, Jonte was like, you touching my girl hair? And then my cousin, he was like, you touching my cousin hair? You touching my cousin? And then the boy just was like, no, I ain't touch her. It was that girl, which was the other person that was behind me that I thought it could have been, but I thought it was the boy. And then like, they were just like, I don't know, they were just like scaring him, I guess. And it was just so funny. After that, I didn't cry no more, but it was just like, it still was embarrassing. But yeah, that happened. And the last one, I think was the most embarrassing, just because I was around everybody. Like, everybody. So this was at the first high school I was at, and we had a little, I guess, assembly thing, I guess. And since we didn't have an auditorium or nothing, because our school was kind of like in a church, so we had to go to the church's gym, and we like stood around the border of the, you know, room around the gym with our class. And this particular day, they were telling who passed their OGTs and how many they passed. Now, if you don't know what OGTs is, it's the Ohio Graduation Test. So, I think it's 5 OGTs. I'm not sure. I think so. And what they did was they had a group of people, and in each group, they said if you passed 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 OGTs. They called me up And they actually called my sister up too, but she was in another group. She was in a different group than me. They called me to another group. So basically they started to call out the groups. And when they called the groups, they called them, I'm not sure if they called them out of order or in order, I'm not sure. But they called each group, and then they got to my group, and they said this group passed 3 OGTs. And I was just screaming, yelling. I was happy. I was smiling. And then I just realized, wait. They said 3. I only passed 3. Y'all, that was so embarrassing because if I heard correctly at the moment that he said it, I would not have been cheering like that. Like, that's not a good thing. Like, it's not a good thing. And you know, after I realized, I just stood there like blank. Like, really? I really just was cheering for 3 OGTs? What? And then I went back in my line, salty. But my sister passed all of them, so that was good for her. I was happy for her, but I was mad at myself. Because I'm like, how do I not pass all of them? Like, I really thought I passed all of them. But thankfully, I passed them the next year, so I graduated. But you know something that kind of made me mad? Is the fact that they did it that way. Like, why would you do it that way? That's kind of embarrassing. Like, why can't you just, like, I don't know, be in a classroom and then call each other up and then tell them, you know, themselves what they passed. I don't want everybody to know that I only passed 3. Like, what? That was just so embarrassing. I don't know if anybody noticed what I did, but I did. And it was embarrassing. So that was it for the 5 things that was very embarrassing in school. And I'm sure I had more. If I remember any more, then I guess I'll make another video for that. If you guys like this video, can you please give it a thumbs up? I would like that so much. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the post notifications. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!